welcome to the Retirement Wealth Podcast. If you're thinking about how to make your retirement more enjoyable, then you're in for a treat today.
Absolutely, Emily. We're diving into something really exciting: how to invest in vacation rentals for income. It's a topic that's gaining a lot of traction, especially with so many people looking for ways to boost their retirement income.
Right? Vacation rentals can be a fantastic way to generate some extra cash flow, and they offer the added bonus of having a place to escape to. But, of course, there's a lot to consider before jumping in.
Exactly. We'll explore some key strategies on how to get started, what to look for in a property, and some common pitfalls to avoid. It's not just about buying a property and hoping for the best.
Yeah, and we'll also touch on how to balance this investment with your overall retirement plan, making sure it fits your long-term goals. After all, planning for retirement is about more than just income. It's about creating the lifestyle you want.
Well said. And let's not forget the importance of understanding the market dynamics and how to maximize your return on investment while minimizing risk.
That's so true. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into the world of vacation rentals.
Sounds great. Let's get started. So, Emily, when we talk about investing in vacation rentals for income, it's really important to understand why that's especially relevant right now, right?
Absolutely, David. I mean, with so many folks nearing retirement or already in it, the pressure is on to find reliable income sources.
Exactly. And let's not forget about inflation. It's been a hot topic lately. Many retirees are feeling the pinch, with prices rising on everything from groceries to healthcare.
For sure. That's where a vacation rental can shine, right? If you manage it well, it can provide a steady income stream that may keep pace with or even outstrip inflation.
Right. And there's also this market volatility we've been seeing. The stock market can be pretty unpredictable, and that can be nerve-wracking for retirees who depend on their investments to fund their lifestyle.
Yeah, I've heard stories from people who watch their portfolios take a dive recently. It's hard not to feel anxious about that when you're on a fixed income.
Exactly. And that's why diversifying income sources is so crucial. Vacation rentals can offer a more stable alternative, especially if you're in an area that attracts tourists year-round.
And let's not forget the tax benefits. Owning rental property can lead to some pretty nice tax efficiencies. For instance, you can deduct mortgage interest, property taxes, and even repairs.
That's a great point. Many retirees overlook that aspect, but it can make a significant difference in your overall tax burden.
And speaking of taxes, with potential changes to Social Security looming, it's wise to consider every possible income avenue.
Right. If Social Security benefits are reduced or adjusted, having that extra income from a rental could really help bridge the gap.
Plus, healthcare costs are rising faster than many other expenses.
Absolutely. We're seeing more retirees struggle with medical bills. Having a reliable income stream can alleviate some of that stress, allowing them to allocate funds for healthcare without worry.
And then there's the emotional side of it all. That peace of mind knowing you have income coming in can really enhance your quality of life during retirement.
Yes. It's not just about the numbers. It's about feeling secure and being able to enjoy your retirement without that constant worry about finances.
I remember speaking with a couple not too long ago. Let's call them Tom and Lisa. They were both nearing retirement, and they were stressed about their savings. They started looking into vacation rentals and found a property in a popular tourist area.
That's a great example. Did they end up investing?
They did. They turned that property into a short-term rental, and within a year, they were generating enough income to feel much more secure about their retirement plans. It really changed their outlook.
That's inspiring. They found a way to leverage their resources effectively.
Exactly. And it's stories like theirs that illustrate why this topic is so vital right now. More people are realizing that traditional retirement savings alone might not cut it anymore.
That's true. And with current economic trends showing a shift towards real estate investment, it's a timely opportunity.
Yeah, and it's not just about the income either. There's also the potential for property appreciation over time, which can be a nice bonus.
Right. So if someone is considering this route, they should really think about the long-term benefits as well as the immediate cash flow.
Absolutely. And I think it's worth mentioning that it's not just about financial gain. Many people find joy in managing properties, meeting new guests, and, creating memorable experiences.
That's a great angle. It adds a layer of fulfillment that some might not expect from an investment.
Yeah, it can be a way to stay active and engaged during retirement.
And let's not forget legacy planning. A vacation rental can be something you pass down to your children or grandchildren, providing them with a source of income too.
That's so true. It's like creating a family asset that can benefit future generations.
Exactly. So as we dive into core strategies, let's keep in mind that investing in vacation rentals isn't just about money, it's about building a secure, fulfilling future.
Right. And with the right strategies and mindset, it can truly be a powerful tool for those planning for or currently in retirement.
So let's talk about how to effectively approach this investment. What should folks consider before diving in? So Emily, when we talk about investing in vacation rentals for income, one of the first things that comes to mind is, well, how much capital you need to actually get started. Typically, you're looking at a down payment, which can range anywhere from 20 to 25%, right?
Yeah, that's a significant chunk of change. So if you're eyeing, say, a $300,000 property, we're talking about, $60,000 to $75,000 just for the down payment?
Exactly. And that doesn't even include closing costs, property inspections, and any immediate renovations you might need. It's important to factor in those additional expenses. They can really add up.
Right. And many people might not realize that once you own a rental property, you'll also need to think about ongoing costs. Things like property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and, of course, property management fees if you're not planning to manage it yourself.
Absolutely. A good rule of thumb is to set aside about 1% of the property value each year for maintenance. So for that $300,000 home, you'd want to budget around $3,000 annually for upkeep.
And then there's the question of financing. Some folks might consider using a 401k or IRA to fund their investment. But, David, aren't there some risks involved with that?
There are, indeed. If you withdraw from a traditional 401k or IRA before age 59 and a half, you'll face a 10% penalty on top of income tax. So unless you're really sure about venturing into real estate, it might be safer to keep those funds for retirement.
That makes sense. So what about the idea of using a Roth IRA for real estate investments? I've heard that can be a smart move.
It can be. With a Roth IRA, you contribute post-tax dollars, so when you start pulling money out in retirement, it's tax-free. But again, there are rules. Like you can't just buy a rental property outright with your Roth IRA funds, unless it's a self-directed account.
Right. And self-directed accounts can be a bit more complex, can't they?
They can be. You'll need to be diligent about understanding the rules. For instance, you can't live in the rental property or use it for personal purposes. It must be strictly for investment.
Got it. So moving on. Once someone has their property, what's a good strategy for managing that income? I've heard of the 4% rule being applied to withdrawals in retirement, but how does it work with rental income?
Well, the 4% rule typically suggests that you can withdraw 4% of your retirement portfolio annually without running out of money. But with rental income, it's a bit different. Ideally, you want to calculate your expected rental income and ensure it covers your expenses and then some, like adding a cushion for those unexpected costs.
So it's not just about the income, but the net income after expenses that really matters.
Exactly. Plus, you should consider diversifying your income streams. Maybe have a mix of stocks, bonds, and real estate so you're not overly reliant on one source. A classic approach is a 70-30 portfolio, 70% in stocks and 30% in bonds, which tends to balance growth and stability.
That's a solid strategy. And if someone is nearing retirement, they might want to shift that balance a bit, right? Maybe to more bonds to reduce risk?
Yes, as you approach retirement, it's often wise to gradually shift toward more conservative investments. You could even look into annuities for guaranteed income. They can provide peace of mind, knowing you have a steady income stream, regardless of market conditions.
Speaking of steady income, let's not forget about Social Security. How does that fit into the picture, especially for someone with rental income?
Social Security can play a vital role, and the timing of when you start taking benefits is crucial. If you delay benefits until age 70, you can increase your monthly payment significantly. If you have rental income, you might choose to delay taking Social Security to maximize that benefit.
Yeah, and that could really add up over time. So if someone is receiving rental income, they might not need to tap into Social Security right away.
Exactly. It all comes down to your overall financial plan. You want to ensure your assets are working together to support your retirement lifestyle. And don't forget about tax implications. Income from rental properties can be taxed differently than other income sources.
Right. It's important to understand how that income will affect your tax bracket. Sometimes you might even be able to write off certain expenses, which can help reduce your taxable income.
That's a great point. In fact, depreciation can be a significant tax advantage for rental property owners. You can deduct a portion of the property's value each year, which can offset your taxable income.
Wow, that's super helpful. So with all these strategies in place, it seems like investing in vacation rentals can be a solid way to generate income in retirement. But it's not without its challenges.
Absolutely. It's important to approach it with a clear plan and an understanding of potential pitfalls. For instance, market fluctuations can impact rental demand, and if you're in a tourist area, seasonal fluctuations can lead to unpredictable income.
Ah, yes, and then there's the whole aspect of tenant management and property upkeep, which can be time-consuming.
Right. And if you're not careful, you can end up spending more time managing your property than enjoying your retirement.
So it really is a balancing act.
Exactly. Before diving in, it's important to assess your goals, your risk tolerance, and how much time you're willing to devote to managing a rental property.
That's a lot to consider, isn't it?
So, Emily, when it comes to investing in vacation rentals for income, it's important to think about some common pitfalls that can really trip people up, especially in retirement planning.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the biggest ones I see is the sequence of returns risk. It sounds complicated, but it's really just about the timing of your withdrawals, right?
Exactly. So, let's say you retire and start drawing from your investments during a market downturn. If you're pulling money out while your investments are down, it can really hurt your portfolio's longevity.
Right, and I've heard stories where people didn't realize how detrimental that could be. Like one couple I spoke with, they had a solid plan in place, but they decided to withdraw a chunk of their savings to invest in a vacation home right when the market was low.
Oh no, that's tough. They basically locked in those losses, didn't they?
Yeah, and it set them back significantly. They didn't account for how much they were taking out during that downturn, and it made their remaining assets much less resilient.
It's a tough lesson, but it's so important to have a withdrawal strategy that considers market conditions. And speaking of strategies, taxes can really complicate things too.
For sure. I think a lot of people underestimate how taxes impact their withdrawals. They might think, oh, I'll just take out this amount, but they forget that taxes will eat into their earnings.
Right, and that can lead to people taking out more than they should, which can lead to even more tax implications later on. I remember working with a retiree who was so focused on his vacation rental that he didn't think about how much he'd be taxed on rental income.
Oh, I can imagine how that went. Did he get a surprise come tax season?
Yeah, he did. He had to scramble to cover that unexpected tax bill. It really put a strain on his budget.
That's a classic example of overlooking the tax implications of retirement income. And then, of course, there's healthcare.
Ah, yes. Healthcare costs can be a significant burden in retirement, and many people underestimate just how much they'll need to budget for it.
Exactly. I've heard stories of folks who thought they'd be fine with Medicare alone, but then they faced unexpected expenses, like long-term care, which can be incredibly costly.
I once knew a gentleman who was in great health and assumed he wouldn't need much in terms of health care. But then he had a sudden health scare that required extensive treatment.
Wow, that's a real wake-up call. I imagine he had to dig into his retirement savings to cover those costs, right?
Yes, and it quickly became clear that his planning didn't account for that kind of risk. It's a reminder that longevity and healthcare are interconnected, and planning for one without the other can leave you vulnerable.
And then there's the issue of asset allocation. I mean, that can be a real game changer too, can't it?
Definitely. Many retirees are inclined to shift too much into conservative investments, thinking it's the safest route, but that can lead to insufficient growth, especially with inflation looming.
Right. I've seen people who moved nearly everything into bonds or cash, thinking they were being cautious, but then they found their purchasing power eroding over time.
Yes, and I had a client who was very risk averse. He was worried about losing what he had, so he went heavily into fixed income. But when inflation hit, he realized that his income wasn't keeping up with rising costs.
That's tough. It's like trying to protect your assets, but inadvertently putting them at risk.
Exactly. And it's crucial to maintain a balanced allocation that can provide growth while still managing risk. And then there's the timing of Social Security claims.
Oh, that's a big one. I've talked to so many people who claimed too early, thinking they'd get a steady income.
Yes, but claiming at 62 can really cut into your benefits long term. I had a couple who took their Social Security early because they wanted to travel more, but they didn't realize how it would impact their monthly income later on.
And they missed out on those increased benefits by waiting. That can really add up over time.
Absolutely. It's about striking a balance between enjoying your retirement now and ensuring you have enough later.
So how can someone spot these red flags early on?
Well, first, it's really about being proactive. Regularly reviewing your financial plan is key. If your withdrawal strategy isn't aligned with your investment performance, that's a red flag.
Right. And if you're not considering the tax implications of your withdrawals or your income sources, that's another sign to revisit your plan.
Exactly. And if you're feeling anxious about your investments or healthcare costs, those feelings can be indicators that you need to adjust your strategy. It's always better to address these concerns sooner rather than later.
So true. And if you're unsure, reaching out to a financial advisor for a second opinion can really help clarify your situation.
Yes, and remember that retirement doesn't have to be a set-it-and-forget-it situation. It's a journey, and keeping an eye on these potential pitfalls can help ensure you're on the right path.
That's such a positive way to look at it. It's all about being informed and making adjustments as needed, right?
Exactly. And with that mindset, you can really set yourself up for a fulfilling and financially sound retirement.
Well, what's next for those who might feel they've already made some of these mistakes?
The first step is to reassess your financial situation. Look at your asset allocation, your withdrawal strategy, and your healthcare plans.
And don't be afraid to make changes, right? It's never too late to adjust your plan.
Absolutely. And consider consulting with a financial planner who can help you navigate these complexities.
Great advice, David. It really does make a difference to stay engaged and proactive in your retirement planning.
Definitely. That way you can enjoy the lifestyle you envision without unnecessary stress about finances.
Well, I think that's a perfect note to transition into our next steps for anyone looking to invest in vacation rentals for income.
So now that we've explored the ins and outs of investing in vacation rentals, let's talk about some practical next steps that you can take, starting today.
Absolutely. It can feel a bit overwhelming, but breaking it down into smaller steps makes it so much more manageable.
Right. First off, if you're even considering this path, I'd recommend looking at your current financial situation. You can use tools like Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab's retirement calculators. They're really user-friendly and can help you understand what you have and what you might need moving forward.
Oh, that's a great point. And it's important to have a clear picture of your finances before diving into any investment.
Exactly. Also, don't forget about the Social Security Administration website, ssa.gov. They have calculators that help you project your benefits, which is really useful when planning for income and retirement.
Yes. Knowing your expected Social Security benefits can give you a solid foundation for your overall retirement income strategy.
And if taxes are a concern, consider investing in some tax software. Programs like TurboTax or H&R Block can help you understand the tax implications of your rental income. Plus, they often have helpful features for tracking deductions.
That's so true. And, with vacation rentals, there are specific deductions you might be eligible for, like mortgage interest or property management fees.
Right. And it's vital to keep good records from the start. Now let's talk about habits you can start building today.
Yeah, definitely. One habit I always recommend is reviewing your investment portfolio quarterly.
Absolutely. Regular reviews can help you stay aligned with your goals and also adjust for any changes in the market or your personal situation.
And running retirement projections is another one. Just set aside a little time each month to see how your investments are performing and if you're on track.
That's a good approach. You could also think about setting up alerts or reminders on your calendar to keep yourself accountable.
I love that idea. Plus, if you're looking for more knowledge, there are some fantastic books and podcasts out there that focus on retirement planning and investing.
For sure. The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins is a great read. It offers solid advice on investing that's really accessible.
Yes, and Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin is another one that dives deep into financial independence and budgeting.
And for podcasts, Choose FI is popular among those looking to take control of their finances and achieve financial independence.
I've heard that one is really engaging. It's all about creating a lifestyle that supports your financial goals.
Exactly. And don't hesitate to seek out financial planning apps too. Apps like Mint or Personal Capital can help you track your spending and investments in one place.
They can be a game changer for keeping your finances organized. Once you have a clearer picture, it's easier to make informed decisions.
And remember, it's never too late to improve your plan. Whether you're just starting to think about vacation rentals or you've already invested in one, there's always room for adjustments and enhancements.
That's such an encouraging thought, David. Each small step you take can lead to significant progress over time.
Yeah, and as you take these steps, don't hesitate to engage with local real estate groups or forums. Connecting with others who are already investing in vacation rentals can provide valuable insights.
Oh, definitely. Learning from others' experiences can save you a lot of time and potential pitfalls.
So, those are some practical first steps. With these tools in your pocket, you're ready to strengthen your retirement plan. Now let's bring this all together. Well, Emily, it's been quite a journey discussing vacation rentals today, hasn't it?
Absolutely, David. I think we've covered some really important points. So let's summarize a few key takeaways for our listeners.
Yeah, I'd say one of the biggest things is the importance of thorough research. Understanding the local market and what renters are looking for can really make a difference in your success.
Right. And then there's the financial side. Calculating all of those costs beforehand, like maintenance, property management, and taxes, so that you're not caught off guard later.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the value of networking. Connecting with other investors and real estate professionals can provide insights and opportunities that you might not find on your own.
And, of course, having a solid plan for managing your property, whether it's doing it yourself or hiring a property manager, is crucial for keeping things running smoothly.
Definitely. It all comes down to being informed and prepared. That's how you build and protect your retirement wealth.
For sure. So for everyone listening, if you found today's episode helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. And hey, we'd love to hear from you. Share your biggest takeaway or any questions you might have in the comments.
And if you know someone who's planning for retirement or is already retired, share this episode with them. It could really make a difference in their journey.
Yes! And speaking of journeys, next time we'll be diving into a topic that's super important: how to claim Social Security benefits strategically.
That's right. It's one of those topics that can really affect your financial future, so you won't want to miss it.
Absolutely. We appreciate you joining us today. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Take care, everyone, and happy planning.
Bye for now.